Welcome to the Stronger Leader podcast, home of the hashtag Stronger movement, where we explore the fascinating tapestry of human experience. I'm your host, Tony Cardello. Each episode, we'll sit down with a remarkable guest to dive into their unique journeys, from successful business leaders to individuals who have faced the darkest of times and emerged stronger, even from some of the inspiring youth of this emerging generation. We'll also cover essential topics on marriage, leadership, as well as spiritual, physical, and mental health, all in hopes to provide you with the tools and motivation to navigate your own life's challenges. Whether you're here to learn, grow, or simply be inspired, there's something for everyone. So get comfy, settle in, and join us as we embark upon this journey together. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button as well. Turn on the notifications so you'll know whenever we drop new content. All right, let's get started. Welcome to the Stronger Leader podcast. It's your host, Tony Cardello. I'm here with my friend and partner, Big Mike Morris.
Let's go!
Mike, what's up, buddy?
Man, I'm blessed right now, Tony. I can't have a bad day.
All right, that's it. That was my intro. I don't know what more to do with that.
Hey, realistically, how much time did you spend making that intro?
Nothing. It's actually preloaded on the thing. So, yeah, we're good. We're golden. I don't even know how to use that thing yet, but we're going to get it figured out. Big Mike. Man, this thing's been like, we've been going back and forth for the last couple of weeks trying to get this podcast launched and going. And, this guy here has been such an inspiration to me because you've been almost like a student of mine for the last couple of years. How long? We've been friends for a couple of years now, right?
You got me to go back to church Father's Day weekend 2.5 years ago.
Okay. So,
2.5 years, yeah.
So, he calls me all the time for good mentor advice, whether it's spiritual or just, trying to adult a little bit, and always follows my advice, right, wrong, or indifferent. And the guy just continues to have massive success in his life and making leaps and bounds, progress in your life just from your physical appearance. You've lost how much weight now?
120, 125, depending how dedicated I am.
Yeah, I don't get to take any credit for that. I think just me being in the gym, maybe being somebody to inspire you in that regards. But the reason you provided me with a lot of inspiration is because you validate me. Surprisingly enough, and a guy in my position, seemingly as a leader of all these companies and all the things that I do, I feel like I have an idea of what's going on, and I feel like I have good advice to give. And I don't know that anybody has ever really wholeheartedly took all of the advice I have and just really executed at a high level like you have. And it's proving itself to be valuable advice because you continue to have success with the things that I'm suggesting that you do. And make no mistake about it, man, the biggest piece of this, like I told you the other day, is your innate ability to just execute on a dime. I give you information and you run with it and do something about it. And a lot of people don't do that. But the reason why you've been an inspiration to me is because you've validated me as a leader and as a person who I think I have a lot of good to give to this world. And but you never know where it ends up until you actually see people take your advice and execute, and it actually works. So I'm like, hey, maybe I do know a little bit about what I'm talking about, And so thanks for being that guy for me, and saying, believing in me for the advice I've given you. You didn't know me from anybody, and we're a couple of hot, sweaty men sitting in a sauna, and we just strike up a conversation, and then all of a sudden, you start. Just for whatever reason, believing in the things that I've said. And so thanks for that. Thanks for being a good friend.
Man, it's a huge blessing. I believe everyone around you can give to you. But ultimately, there's so many people with noise. But I ask a simple question. Are they somewhere I'd like to be in life? Yes or no? And if it's yes, do I like where they're currently at? And it's like, that is my entire, dude, there's so many people that want to give me advice. There's people that I know that are very wealthy. I would never want to trade lives with them.
Right.
There are people that are significantly poor that give great advice, but it's like, once again, I don't want to take your advice. It's just like, the college teacher. They teach you how to go make all this money, but they don't do it themselves. Right. So, man, it's I see what you and Dom have built, and I see your beautiful kids, and I see the movement that you're making. I see the people that look up to you. Then I see all, I don't want to say employees, but the people underneath you at work, and you lead all of them. And it's like, okay, if this guy is willing to spend the time to try to teach or educate, the least I can do is listen and execute.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Like I'm right now trying to buy me a house, and I'm working that way backwards because being an entrepreneur, you write off everything.
Yeah, right.
2023's taxes is now coming back alive in 2025, and it's like, all right, well, I'm talking to another mentor of mine this last week, and he goes, find yourself an investment property, live in it, and then either invest it out or sell it in the future. He goes, but that should be your number one priority. You are approved to go get that. Just found a property right before I came here. I'm like, all right, well, let's try to start making moves on this.
I love that. Did you do what we talked about reducing the amount that you were looking at? Just find something a little bit more practical for right now? Or
yeah, I am not raising my tax liability.
Good.
To go purchase a more expensive house.
Good.
Like, okay, so for anyone wondering, I was seriously considering raising my tax liability about $50,000 just to bring my DTI up enough to purchase a property.
If you don't know what DTI is, that's your debt to income ratio.
So being an entrepreneur, you write off everything. You have expenses like marketing. You have expenses like gas. You have expenses like your vehicle. You have expenses, all these different expenses. Well, anyway, I would have to remove some of those expenses to bring my debt to income up to be able to purchase the house that I wanted.
Bring your income up.
Yes, my
Bring
income.
Your income so that your ratio would go down, right?
Yes, and I was seriously considering that and paying the government an extra $15,000.
Womp womp.
Yes, but everyone I spoke with was like, "Hey, you know what? That's probably not a good call." It's like, you know what? God's pushing me a single direction. Can I do this or can I not? Can I find a good investment property? Absolutely. And it's just a little step stool. It's like, I think it's an amazing time to be purchasing a house right now. That is why I'm putting all my effort into trying to buy.
It's good. I love it. So Mike, tell the listeners here what you're about. What do you do for a living?
So I'm in real estate, and in short,
now when you say you're in real estate, you sell houses, or you're an investor,
So I help other people buy, sell, invest into real estate from land, commercial, or residential. I'm just now starting to dive into the commercial world. That is a beast in itself, but we all know there's a Goliath. I have to go tackle it.
Yep. Yeah.
But those are the three aspects. Most agents do residential. Some agents just do purely land. It's like once you learn how to do it, it's all the same thing. I really believe that's kind of all of business. Once you learn how to figure it out, there may be simple things that you change, but whether you're in plumbing world, whether you're in car world, whether you're in real estate, once you learn the basics and not screw people over, I think you can excel at anything.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. When people ask us all the time, because I've been in the car business 28 years, and people ask me, how did you get into the medical spa space? And, the basics is I was sitting with the doctor that we bought the practice from, and we were just having a friendly conversation about the business. It was very loose. Would you be interested? I'm like, sure, let's talk, and we were talking about something, and he said the word. He was talking about one of the employees in their position. He said the technician, and it just dawned on me. I'm like, well, I have technicians, they're in our shop, right? And so I started like, okay, technician. So how could I see the similarities? And then I'm like, wait a minute, a med spa is like running a service department. Each room is like a lift at a shop, right? It's like a stall, and then each provider that's in the room is like a technician, a mechanic, right? And so you have A techs all the way down to your apprentice or lube techs, your entry level, right? And depending on their licensing and certification will depend on their income, like how much hourly. Obviously the master certified technicians that have all the certifications are going to garner the most wage. Well, that's the same thing. A nurse or a nurse practitioner in our business, same thing, right? So you're finding that a lot of similarities. Your technicians, your providers are the same. And you wouldn't have a like we have some basic equipment, like an infrared light machine that me and you could set somebody down, turn the switch on the machine, and go, right? So you wouldn't have your highest paid hourly person provider go do that and take their time with that customer, because their time is more valuable spent on higher ticket items, right? Because they have the certifications and all that. Well, it's the same thing. We would never have a master technician just on the oil change rack, just doing lube oil changes. So I'm like, okay, listen, I know how to do it. And then as I'm walking out, we have all this skincare products on the shelf, and I was like, that's a parts and accessories department. Man, this whole thing is just a service and parts department. That's all it is. I'm like, yeah, I'll buy it. I know how to do that. I know how to run one of those. And there we are, and then we just talked numbers, and it made sense. But operationally, and this applies to you, right, with every business.
Everyone.
Operationally, and in the business world, nothing happens till somebody buys something from someone. And then you just figure out how to market, how to get those people, how to create demand. Business is the same. You can find, and I remember when I took over this my first general manager job with the auto group, and Chris Lee, my boss, says, I said, man, my only gap, my shortcoming right now is I don't know much about service and fixed operations at the time, right? And he said, you'll be fine, just run it like a sales department. I'm like, okay. So I just started finding parallels, because your salespeople are your advisors at the desk, right? And they're selling service to customers. It's they're salespeople selling. Nothing happens till somebody sells something. So then you figure out. Then you can get. There's obviously a lot of minutia and different data points and KPIs in running a dealership, and each business has their own. But once you understand how to drive top line revenue growth, how to keep expenses low, make a net profit, it translates everywhere. And then you just find something you enjoy doing. And then,
the biggest thing is, once you learn just to throw money at a certain, like once you learn how to do it correctly, the only thing preventing you from going to the next level normally should just be money.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, scaling. It is. It's 100%.
It's once you learn how to scale correctly where you don't break, then you get the right people in place, throw more money, get the right people in place, throw more money. And then eventually you have to buy probably a new building, whatever the case.
Well, that's why people they're like, man, you are stupid. Like, why are you growing so fast?
Because I'm stupid. I keep it easy.
We have the blueprint. The Lee Summit location that I bought from the doctor, it's been tried and true. He's been open since like 1993. I mean, the blueprint's already, all you got to do is take the blueprint and go build a building on another lot. You know what I mean? It's build a business, same thing. We have the blueprint for success. And a funny story for us, you get outside that blueprint and try to reinvent and start overthinking it, is when it all crumbles. And so we tried to build this building in Liberty, and this big Taj Mahal, and it was an ego project more than anything. And I've quickly found that's, we're going to build this 5,000 square foot mega spa with all these luxury amenities. Our business model is constructed on about 1,800 to 2,000 square feet, and we have that down pat. Why do we want to go outside of what we already know? So, we've been in the temporary spot thanks to Dr. Jackson in the dental office. Jackson Family Dentals, was gracious enough to give us a few to get the business upright and going. But, we moved now that Liberty location into the strip mall over here, almost 1,900 square feet, wash, rinse, repeat. It's like clockwork. It took off, and it's performing just like Lee Summit did. So if you got something that works, don't overthink it. Just scale it.
So I just got back from a mastermind this weekend, and they said the bottom 10% and the top 10% are very successful individuals, and the middle 80% overthink everything.
Yeah.
And it's like the bottom 10%, dumb as a box of rocks. They're so stupid that they just consistently do what they need to do, and they make it.
Yeah, right.
And then the top 10% are people like Elon Musk.
Yeah, they're just crazy smart. Yeah.
Crazy smart, and those people are, whatever they touch to turn to gold, because they've already thought of everything.
Yeah.
And then the middle 80, where most of the people survive.
Well, it's fear, it's paralysis by analysis. It's there's just so many of the news, so many influences that influence that. Hey, listen, I love the 80% in my world, because that's who we're trying to reach in the car business, because we figure that like the 80% of the people are gonna just lay down and buy car, if you got what they want, they're just going to say yes. And then these other people over here, they're going to come in and they're going to say no, no matter what. They're like serial car shoppers, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But the people, the 80% in the middle that we try and target and build our sales processes around, those are people that can be influenced or swayed with good information. If you just treat them well, have a good sales process, stand for something, those are the people we want to build our business model. And like when we do sales trainings and all that, it's around catering to those 80% of the people that just need good information. They need to be treated well, just good customer service, all that stuff. And we're not trying to, those aren't the people we're trying to manipulate. Those are just the people that just want to be served. And so that's what we try. And I think that holds true for all business, right? So real estate. So how'd you get into that? What made you want to do real estate?
So I ended up getting myself into some trouble from North Dakota, and I was up in the oil field, had to come back home and to save my CDO, failed a drug test, and I came back, and everyone in my entire life told me, "Man, you're in the wrong business."
What were you? So what were you? Let's back up, home. We got some stuff to unravel here. So what'd you do to get in trouble? Number one. First of all, what were you doing? What were you doing in South Dakota or North Dakota?
North Dakota.
Okay, what were you doing way up in North Dakota? Who tricked you into that deal?
Made stupid money.
Okay, all right.
Just oil field.
Oh, yeah, okay. And you were probably, what, 20s, early 20s?
23, 24, making $5,000 a week.
And you're in the oil field. What do they call a roughneck?
I was a fracker.
A fracker. You mother fracker.
Dude, It was blistering cold during the winter. It absolutely sucked during the summer. And it was just miserable year around.
Yeah.
But when you make $180K a year being 23, 24.
No expenses. Don't you live on the property free or whatever?
There's
the
nothing.
Dorms or whatever?
Like the second I wake up at 3:30, whether it's PM or AM, doesn't matter. I am eating breakfast, getting paid. I'm driving to the location, getting paid. I'm spending 12 hours on location, getting paid. I'm driving back for an hour and a half, getting paid. And then by the time I go to sleep, I'm getting paid.
I love it. So you were operating machinery?
Yeah.
Drilling machinery?
So how fracking is, it's a bunch
of... That's the
iron.
Horizontal or it's a certain kind of drilling, right?
So what happens is drill comes in and they just drill down a well.
Straight, okay.
Over there, it comes in the workover rigs. They come in, cement comes in, they cement the well. Then the workover rig comes in and builds the entire case up on the well. Fracking comes in and attaches to the case to shove sand into the ground. So how it drills down there, you drill a mile down, and then you cut 2 miles across.
Okay, so I knew there was a vertical or horizontal drill at some point. Yeah.
So basically, when we shove sand at like 7,500, 8,000 psi, it's rock breaks rock.
Okay.
Simple. So we come in, we
sandblasting.
Yeah, basically 2 miles down under, we're sandblasting the ground, but that's the only way. We have so much oil. It's just stupid expensive here in America. Like we have the most oil. Like we will create a monopoly eventually for the entire world to use. Like we have way more than the entire world combined.
Even more than like Saudi Arabia and all that?
Yes.
Really?
But we are draining Saudi Arabia. Let's just keep using them. America plays everything. I mean, just ask the IRS. They're willing to play the long game on every aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So you come drill down. Well, anyway, all these pieces of iron, there's half a mile of iron, which doesn't sound like a lot, till you realize every single piece is 250 pounds. And you only put together 10 foot at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Maximum.
Right.
So we would spend 2 or 3 months on a single location, and every month we're having to work over all this iron. I mean, you're back-breaking work.
Is this anything like on Landman? Is this just the lifestyle? Have you seen Landman with Billy Bob Thornton? Oh, bro, you got to go watch that. It's a great series with Billy Bob Thornton. You would, if you've done and you've been.
Where's
stuff.
it at?
Landman. You mean like what streaming series?
No. Or, what area?
I feel like it takes place. It's not a reality show. It's an actual like TV series. Billy, it's drama. It's a drama series. But I'm certain that there's probably a lot of reality and
so North Dakota had 4 inch.
I think it was Texas.
So Texas and Colorado only have 3-inch.
3-inch what?
Iron. So
that's the bits.
So that's the. No, the bits are drilling. We're not talking about the same thing.
Okay, so what's the iron? Iron what? Like a pipe?
Yeah, like a 10-foot iron pipe.
Okay.
That's 200 or 250 pounds.
So when you say 3 inches, you're talking about the thickness of the steel.
3 inches, just how big it is, the hole.
Okay.
That doesn't include the steel.
Okay.
So, but obviously you have to be able to hold 8,000 psi.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah.
we've had iron bust out the side, and you have 8,000. It's spewing like shit hits the fan quick,
Right.
and it's like if you are standing anywhere close, like you're ripping your body in half.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Like,
so that's dangerous.
Extremely.
Yeah.
Like when we're pushing, so we have 12 fracks going on at the exact same time, 6 on each side, and they all meet in the middle. You do not go anywhere close to that. Like if anything goes bad, you're dead.
Got it.
So in order to shut down, you have to. I mean, there's so many different steps, but anyway, it's there's so many preventative maintenance involved, but it's like, man, it sucks up there.
All right, we'll do a whole nother podcast on fracking. So tell me about how you got in trouble.
So I came back after partying my ass off.
Up there. Came back like to home or to the job site, you mean, or came back home?
Came back home. Sorry, went back up there.
Yeah.
To North Dakota after just partying my ass off. Failed a drug test for a random DOT, and honestly, didn't even care. Like it was like, you know what? I that was my very first step. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to blame anybody. Mm-hmm. So I had to meet up with a therapist, psychiatrist of some sort, and because it was a DOT, forced drug test, met up with them, and I said, hey, you know what? This is what the situation was. It's 100% on me. I failed. Came back home on my days off. I was partying, and I messed up. And I just took full responsibility. I had nothing else to say. Right. Well, that therapist asked me a bunch of questions. I just owned it. Well, after I owned it all, he said, I have to assign something to you. So I'm going to assign you the minimum that you have to do. He goes, but I want you to know the only reason I'm doing that is because you came in and owned it. He goes, I have people all the time blame everybody, and I throw the book at them.
Yeah. But
it was like 2 SATOP classes and moved on with my life.
Been through one of those. Those suck.
Like I had 2,
like and 8 hours on a Saturday. Is it one of them?
Yeah, like two Saturdays. That was it. Yeah. I think it was like Friday and Saturday. But it was like, you know what? I got away, and it was maybe a couple $1,000 spent. But after I got back, I was like, hey, you know what? Real estate sounds like it'll be fun. I'll go pop bottles. I'll go be a real estate agent. I wish that was the case.
All right.
I wish that was the case, because you see all these people online, you see all these real estate agents on Facebook and Instagram, and all these people just have these extravagant lifestyles, and you don't see all the people that have their license that do nothing with it. You only see the top 0.1%.
Right.
Because they're the loudest.
Right.
Like
yeah. That's why they're the top 1%.
You see people like Ryan Serhant, who rolls up in a Rolls Royce everywhere, and he has all this suits and all this team and just doing $100 million deals, and you're like, man, I could do that.
Right.
Then you sit here and you're like, why am I fighting over a $75,000 house, and why are we arguing over $100?
Yeah.
Like, is this real life?
What's the one I've seen lately? Everybody wants to be successful until they see the invoice. Right.
Dude,
yeah.
If I could go back in time, I probably wouldn't have hopped into real estate. But now it's just like, I refuse to fail.
Well, you're committed at this point. Their chips are in, baby.
At this point,
burn the ships in the harbor. Let's go.
I will not ever quit.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, I will die trying my absolute best before I ever give up ever again.
Yeah, I've watched you.
Like, dude, just this weekend. Oh, I was fully prepared for my trainer to rip me apart. Wednesday had pizza, Thursday had donuts, Friday had donuts, Saturday went out for dinner. And I was like, you know what? And I took my photos on Sunday, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, damn it, dude, I don't want to send these. I'm embarrassed. He's about to tear me apart. And he messages me back. He goes, the ab structure's starting to come in. Very nice. And I'm like, did he not read what I wrote him?
Refeed. You did a refeed, baby. That's all good. You need those from time to time.
Dude, I've been on lockdown for like 9 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe 10. I don't know. And it's just like, you know what?
It's good to do that. Your body gets a reset. Metabolism gets a reset. When you're training for a show, we do that often. It's called a refeed. You just spike your calories and it sends your body that metabolism. Because you're functioning at a pretty high level. Your metabolism is anyway. It's pretty efficient, and that when you start shrinking down your calories, your metabolism slows down. So it's almost like a campfire. And talk about burning fat. So the less food you eat, that's like the less logs you're putting on a fire, right? And if you put less logs on a fire, the fire starts to dim and go down and down and down. And then if you want to get your fire started again, you put logs back on it, right? To build it back up. And that's the same thing. If your fat burning is the same way, it will burn. If you slow down on eating the logs, throwing food, which is logs, to the fire, your metabolism will slow down just like a campfire would. Well, if you want to reignite that campfire and get it fired up again, you do a refeed and throw logs on it. So you eat a big, maybe it's over a couple of period of 2 or 3 days or something like that, and you spike your metabolism, like light that fire again, and then it has a residual effect. It just keeps burning until those logs burn down. As you're reducing your calories with a higher fire, you're burning. That's how you start burning the fat. So I always look, it's an easy concept for me visually, because you talk about burning fat, you think about a campfire, burning wood's the food, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, dude,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's probably what happened. And well, that's so people don't understand, when you cut your calories way down and just keep going down and down, you're putting the fire out. The burning fat, you're burning less and less and less the less food you eat. That's why there's a homeostasis, is what they call it, where you get that optimum, where you're eating just enough to keep the fire burning good, but not so much that it's spilling over into stored fat. So you find that optimum level. And then in order to get skinnier, that's homeostasis, where you'll stay. That's maintenance, right? That's kind of like where I'm at. I'm like at 205, 207. I can eat real bad one week and I'll be 210, 211, right? But it'll average back out because I'm in a maintenance. But if you're trying to lose weight, you gotta stoke that fire and eat extra food every now and again, and get that fire burning again. And then you cut the calories back out while the fire's still running, and it'll burn fat. And that's how you get skinnier, right? But then it goes dormant. You hit those plateaus where you either eat less, and eventually you're going to eat nothing and not lose anything, right? You'll start wasting away, and your body will turn catabolic, and you'll actually start eating muscle, which you got to be careful of that. So that's probably what happened. You ate like what you thought like crap for 2 or 3 days straight, but you really gave your body a refeed, and you stoked that fire up, and you probably did more good than you did harm.
I was very surprised. So I was 249 last week. Now that's no water in my body. I made sure I did spit in my toilet. Like it was 249.9. I was like, done. Don't care. 249, done. And I got up to like.
And for reference, where'd you start this journey? You were 375?
376 was the highest I've ever seen the scale. And I probably went higher, but that's the last number I remember. Yes.
Well, you probably couldn't see the scale.
There's a lot of things I couldn't see. But it's started off my journey at 376. I bounce around 252 to 257 any given day. But it's like after that refeed, dude, I had every bit of a large pizza at Switch on Wednesday myself, and I'm like, couldn't give it up. Just kept going. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I'll burn it off tomorrow. And I woke up injured, which pissed me off. And instead of getting pissed off and eating healthy, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I accomplished a huge business goal. I accomplished a huge health goal. I'm going to just eat whatever the hell I feel like this weekend.
Good for you.
And I was sitting there regretting. My trainer is just a monster. And he is a savage. Mm-hmm. But he also told me, he goes, out of all my clients, you are the only one that takes full responsibility. He goes, I can't even get mad at you. I feel like you've already got mad at yourself enough.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's it. That's the key.
He messaged me. He didn't he didn't cast any shade. He didn't say anything. I almost like wanted to ask him, because I was like,
did you read it?
I wanted to, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave it be.
Are you even paying attention to me?
I was like, I'm not going to ask somebody to get mad at me. I'm just going to assume he read every word.
Yeah, chalk it up. Good.
And I'm like, he didn't ruthlessly berate me. I mean, he's only like 35, and I feel he is a monster, but I stand well over him.
Who's your trainer?
Ty Jordan.
Okay. Yeah.
He had just 262, 5 to 8% body fat.
Beast.
His muscles have muscles.
Yeah, right.
Like his muscles look like they work out.
All right, so real estate. So you're in it now, and it's starting to really take off. And so a lot of your marketing stuff is social media, YouTube, a lot of those platforms, right?
So no longer.
So how'd you get
YouTube.
into that? So you're not doing YouTube anymore.
I'm not doing YouTube anymore.
Okay, that's a shift for you. You really were a big proponent. What's your take on that?
So
Maybe is it just for that line of work since you're more localized, and you think, or what's your purpose for that?
So everyone on YouTube saying focus on trying to attract buyers.
Okay.
I don't want buyers. I don't want people. We don't have a high moving to area for Kansas City. I have all my friends are heavy into YouTube. They do like 30 deals combined a year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, so if I'm going to spend the most amount of time on YouTube and this is what I could expect, is there a better use of my time? Like I only get so much time. So I'm like, all right, so if all my buddies are taking the passive approach off of YouTube and going and spending 2 or 3 days creating a single video, what can I do in those 2 or 3 days to not only outperform them, but grow my future team? So I'm like, all right. So I started focusing on just social media. It's like, okay, so if one person can make a phone call, I'm 1-to-1. I started looking at social media. I'm like, all right, so if every single time I post, I get 500 views. Started posting 2 times a day, that's 1,000 views a day. Started posting 3 times a day, that's 1,500 views a day.
What's your flavor? You like is Instagram or all Meta?
Facebook.
All Meta?
Facebook, I crush.
So are you posting on Instagram and then it's cross posting on Facebook, and Facebook gets you?
I go everything through Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
but I post to Facebook.
And it cross, okay. And then are you doing TikTok at all?
I just started TikTok.
Okay.
Literally this last week, after giving you the advice on TikTok, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna show Tony. That's what I thought.
Yeah, good.
And
show me, baby. We just the Stronger Leader just crested 12,000 followers. Oh, by the way, little shameless plug. You're probably going to be seeing this on all the platforms. If you are on YouTube, please follow this. Hit the like and subscribe button and hit the bell, because we will be doing content regularly on this. And so you want to get alerted, because I've got a whole array of people slated to be on this show. It's going to be great. We're going to have all sorts of business, leadership, marriage, youth. I've got some young people, some high school kids that are going to be on here. We've got a lot of people planned for this show, so it's going to be exciting. It's not just real estate. It's not just business. It's not just Bible talk. There is nothing really off limits here. It's going to be clean. It's going to be good for everyone. Anybody can watch one of these. I don't care how old you are. Anybody can be on this show. I don't care what your beliefs are. We'll have healthy conversations, whether we agree on everything. That's okay. I think that's the spirit of our democracy and our countries, that we can have opposing opinions and still get along and have a good conversation. So we'll probably not have too much of that. I don't want to I don't want this to be a debate podcast, but we are going to have, so I want to have different opinions. I don't want to be, I don't want everybody just to come on my show and agree with me, because then I can just do the show by myself, if that's the case, right? So having some opposing opinions or different perspectives on things. So please hit that like and subscribe button. You guys are not going to want to miss the content that comes out of this show, I promise. And eventually we'll probably get out of this basement. I did order. I've got some banners coming. I got one banner for that wall, one banner for this wall, and then we'll have a big
Tony
12-foot banner that's going across this wall. So it should be cool.
I just made a video.
All right, what is it? Tell me about it.
It said, success like speed. You started off the podcast upstairs in your kitchen. You got kicked down to the basement.
Yeah, I didn't even, hold on. Not starting it is a loose word. I set it all that it was like a practice run on how to set everything up. And then I did never do anything. I did all the testing of the equipment and everything. And I'm like, cool, it works. Now who do we have on the podcast? And then I got kicked out of the kitchen. I already got ran out of my first place. It's great.
So success like speed. You didn't have everything ready. You started. You still don't have everything ready. We started.
Yep.
And it's just like, if anyone wants to be successful, everyone gets stuck in this, I have to wait for the perfect time to start instead of just beginning.
Good enough.
Figure it out.
Yeah, good enough. It'll get better with time. It always does. I don't care if you plan out every intricate detail before you start. Let's say you did and you had the capacity. I don't have the brain capacity to think that detailed. I'm pretty detail oriented, but I'm not going to get over obsessed with the details. But let's say you did. I guarantee you, no matter what, you're going to change something, and you're going to improve it. So if you're already going to change and improve whatever you start with, you may as well just start with good enough so that you can get to market and get going quicker, right? You're right. Success like speed. And one of my most favorite quotes, I quote it all the time, and I always will because it's something that is so dear to me and how I operate. A poor plan violently executed is better than no plan at all. And that is from General Patton, one of the best military leaders that we've ever had in our military. And so that's it. And me and you talked about this. I told you it was one of the things I loved about you. Me and you will try something and fail 2 or 3 times before someone even tries their first time.
Yeah, I got 2 or 3 times of experience of what not to do.
Yeah. And most people are still trying to figure out how to get started. Yeah. Not us, Mikey. That's why you're here on the show, buddy.
Now I'm sitting there thinking about that quote. What is it? Oh, I can't remember right now. It doesn't matter. I'll end up thinking about it, like 3 hours from now.
All right, and then you can text me. All right, so we talked about real estate, talked about that. You're single, right? Single. Hey, ladies, Mike's a single guy. You're how old now, Mike?
I am 32.
32. Good Lord, man. I'm going to tell you, you're so wise beyond your years. Sometimes I just shake my head and giggle because you're so immature about stuff, and you're 32. And then other times I forget you're 32 because of the wisdom that you have, and it's funny. Yeah, it's funny.
I love screwing around with people, but at the same time, if you want to challenge my way of thinking, let's go.
Yeah.
Like kick this last weekend, Matt kept giving me a hard time. He'd be like, "Big Mike," I said, "Kick me in my balls." Yeah. Like, I'm fully prepared, dude. Help me get better. Like,
you know what I really like about you is that you're and one of the things that I always tell people, there's 2 things that about me, my character, that you can bank on. No, you can bet the farm on this. I'm going to tell you the truth as I know it, and it's going to come from my heart. Always, right? Now, the disclaimers in that, just because it's true as I know it doesn't mean it's right? I could be wrong. Ask my wife. I'm wrong sometimes.
Once, twice, tops.
Right. And just because it comes from my heart and I'm passionate and convicted about it doesn't, and I'm going to deliver it with a good place. I'm going to deliver a message to you. Doesn't mean you're going to like what I have to say, because it could be a direct message. It could be accountable. The truth hurts sometimes, right? It could hurt your feelings, but you always can know, and the reason why you can turn that initial shock of like, dang, that sucked. You're kind of mean. And you can turn that because you know that it's coming from a good. I'm not trying to be mean, right? And people can rationalize that. But I just because I'm firm in my truth, and I am convicted from my heart, it doesn't mean my mind can't be changed. It doesn't mean I'm closed-minded. One of the O's in Stronger is, or the only O in Stronger is open-minded, right? So I have a lot of conviction and a lot of beliefs in what I say, but I will listen to people, because if you tell me something that may be a little bit better and a little more information, whatever, that gets me to change my truth. That's why I say it's the truth as I know it. Well, my truths evolve from personal experiences, from information. And I feel like that's, I've asked you, why are you doing this, Mike? And you're like, well, this is why, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, well, that sucks. What about like thinking about like this? And you're like, damn it. You know what? You're right. And so you're like, though you're convicted in how you think, you listen to me, and then you develop a new truth based on that, and then you move. That's your new baseline of truth.
Dude, I'm an idiot. I will keep being an idiot and working way harder than smarter until someone corrects me, and then I'll be like, done, move. Pivot.
Yeah.
That's how quick I can pivot.
And so people, it takes a strong individual to be able to manage and talk with somebody like you, because you come off with a lot of convictions. Like, this guy, he's probably going to be a know-it-all. He's not going to listen to anything I say, just because, man, you're in it to win it, right? And you know what you know wholeheartedly, and you think you know what you know, right? And so so a lot of people that could be intimidating, and they're not like, I don't even want to engage with this guy because he thinks he knows everything. But it's not the truth. You don't. I engage with you. You're convinced, and you're like, bah, 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 and I hit you, and you're like, damn, okay. All right.
I'm willing to die on my mountain.
You do, but you'll change. You'll change your mind. You'll change your thinking. You'll change your ways. And it's not because you're weak in your thoughts. I think you're irrationally intelligent to be able to pivot like that, right?
I'm just dumb enough to keep going.
Well, yeah, but listen, I'm going to tell you, I would encourage you to come along a journey with me of rewording those vernaculars, because I have also said for many years the same type of stuff, that I'm just this dumb car salesman, or I'm just this,
you changed the way you talk to yourself.
I dropped out of high school. I'm not educated. I'm not smart. I try to play that self-deprecation to appear to be more humble, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to demoralize yourself to be humble. Being humble is being humble. Like I'm gifted. I'm super blessed with a different level of intelligence. I wasn't blessed with the fortitude to sit in class and read and learn book smart stuff, and get a formal education. My intelligence comes in more of experiential things, right? But my ability, the gift of intelligence that I have is to be adaptive in my life lessons, right? And so, a lot of people say that School of Hard Knocks is better than any classroom setting, right? And it's proven to be good for me, right? Some people, I don't recommend to anybody to take the trajectory of learning life the way that I did. If you like school, go to school. I'm not advocating for dropping out, going to prison, the whole school hard enough. Where I'm at today in the life that I've made for myself and my family and my wife and I, it took a lot of heartaches and headaches. It's not an advisory route by any stretch of the imagination. However, I do realize that I've been gifted with a high level of intelligence, that I can learn. I just learn differently, right? And so you're not just this dumb guy, right? You're not stupid enough to keep going. You're actually smart enough to keep going, and you got that willpower and that fire, and that you're blessed with this intrinsic motivation that a lot of people need from externally, right? And you don't. You have it internally.
How many messages do you get a day from people just thanking you in some manner?
They come in spurts. I wouldn't say it's necessarily always a daily thing. I was just telling a story today. I got some kid randomly called me. Like, I'm very good about putting people's names and numbers in my phone. I like to do that, full, first and last name. Just, it helps me to remember their names. Even if I don't have much interaction with them and I have their number footer, I put their full name in. I just lock it in my phone. I got 5,000-6,000 contacts in my phone, right? Kid calls me, his name shows up on my phone, right? And I remembered the name because he had been a salesperson at one of the stores that I was running, and I just couldn't remember him really specifically, but I did remember the name in a negative connotation with it. I'm like, I don't remember this kid, but I don't think I wanted to remember him for whatever reason. And he called me. He's like, "Hey man, I'm so and so's friend. Remember I worked for you? He referred me to you." And I was like, "Yeah, I do vaguely. I remember. I just couldn't picture his face." And I said, "But I do remember." I said, "What's up, man?" And he's like, "Listen, I don't need anything. I don't need a job or anything. It's been 2 or 3 years since I left, and we left on pretty bad terms. And it's ate at me for all these years because you didn't deserve that. You're actually pretty good to me, and you're a nice guy, and you gave me a chance, and I was kind of a turd when I left, and I just want to tell you I'm sorry, and that I appreciate what you did for me, and just out of the blue, right? And so you never, your fruit of the seeds that you're planting and the roots that you're growing, you may never see the fruit, and it may be way later. The story of a bamboo tree, right? Bamboo trees grow to 200 feet tall, but they don't sprout up through the ground for the first 20 years of their life. So a lot of times, man, it's a lot of that work and those roots that you're setting. It happens in the dark, right? And you don't get to really see and enjoy the fruits of that for a while, but. So anyway, I do. I get them. Listen, that's better than a payday It is. It's better than hitting record months in the car dealership. When I get somebody to reach out to me and just thank me, or the best is I had a situation where a guy, he was a pretty high performing employee for us, and we had to terminate him over a slight calculation, a misstep that he had in his behavior. Doesn't define him as a character, but it was just something. We're non-negotiable in those. We do business the right way always, and that your warning is when you get hired. Don't do that. And so it happened, and nonetheless we had to terminate him, and it didn't end well. He was pretty voiceably upset about it and said some choice words to me and some pretty hateful stuff, and I just internalized it and whatever. And then about a year or so goes by, maybe a year and a half, and he texts me. He's like, "Hey man, can you call me? I know we ended on bad terms last time, but I could use your help, and not work related." And he called me. He's like, "Hey man, I'm struggling in life, and I don't, I'm not trying to get a job or nothing. I'm fine there. I just could I go to your church with you? Could I go to church?" I'm like, "Absolutely, 100%. You can come to church. Can't work for me, but you can come to church." And so that's cool, right? That's the fruit. That's the real fruit in life that we want to bear, is that type of stuff, right? So yeah, man, it's good stuff.
I believe in attraction. Like
the laws of attraction. Yeah.
Just today, I posted up a simple photo yesterday. It was completely clickbait, but it was me on Life Church just pointing, and the very first line is, "I have a confession to make." The very next line is, "I'm going to refuse to apologize for this." And the last of it is, "I'm going to be in the best shape of my life. I'm going to consistently give everything to God." Just long list.
Yeah.
One person commented on there was like, "You have a confession to make that you joined a cult?" And I'm like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
I said, "I don't even know who you are. We're not even friends." The second person told me some BS about, "I refuse to believe in God," or whatever. I'm like, and then I was like, Jesus loves you. Like he said something outlandish, whatever. And he's like, "Prove it," or "I don't believe you," or something. I was like, dude, my job isn't to prove you wrong. If you have everything in life figured out, more power to you.
Yeah.
I don't, and I know God's got me. And that's all I left. And it was just like, you know what? The entire sentence is, I'm just going to show up and show love. And this guy is looking for a fight.
Oh, yeah.
He was waiting for me just to be just an a-hole, which I even wrote out there real quick. I was like, and I had it written, and I physically posted. I was like, you didn't have to drop a comment. But I was like, you know what? Would God appreciate that? You know what? Jesus loves you.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it out there, whatever. I'll take it on the chin. Screw it. It's not going to disrupt my day. But when he commented back, I'm like, all right, I'm going to kind of poke. It's like, my job's not to prove you right or wrong. I don't care. Mm-hmm. If you have such a perfect life without God, keep running it. I do not.
Right.
I know where my strength and power comes from. And to the average person, they probably would have broken if they walked a mile in my shoes.
Yeah.
Like, go get cussed out every single day. Go get hung up on every single day. Go get told, I don't know how you got my number, but lose it. Go get told you're going to get reported. Go get told that you're going to get reported to the whatever phone service after you put in your information to my lead generation.
Just cold calling?
No, this is straight up just advertising, like lead ads from Facebook. And it's just like, don't care. Like, I legitimately couldn't care less anymore. I will go pick up the phone and I will get the most venomous person. Yesterday, I had a strong talking to. Lady went up berated me for Lady berated me for a minute for calling. And all I said was, "Hey, I understand you're not looking for a house. I appreciate your time. Hopefully you have a wonderful, blessed day." That's all I said.
Yeah.
And she hung up. Later that evening, texted me and said, "Hey, just want to say thank you for reaching out earlier." Well, my automated system, I never turned it off. So the next day it comes back and was like, "Hey, just checking. Are you still searching for a house?"
Oh, no.
So she goes, "Stop, remove my number." I was like, damn it.
That's all right. AI fail. Don't worry. That's all right. We'll figure it out.
One person who was already having a rough day, and I'm like, I got the apology yesterday, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave it be. Just I'll let her stew. And then the next day, I'm like, damn, probably should have removed her. Oh well.
That's all right. Well, man, we'll have to do more of these because I have a feeling that you and I have got a lot to unpack and a lot to unravel, and this is a good little test run of the show. You're my very, very first guest.
Number one.
Numero uno.
Numero one.
So thanks for saying yes. Thanks for being a good friend, Mike. And I've really enjoyed watching you grow and having a front row seat at your show, my man. I'm excited to see big things. Excited to keep watching you grow. And if there's anything I could do, you know that I'm always here for you, buddy.
Man, I appreciate that. But we both know there's nobody else that can do the work other than me. If it's up to be, it's up to me.
That's right. Amen. All right, that's it for our first show on the Leadership Podcast.
Do the outro.
All right, I don't know. So what should the outro be? Let's try it out.
Don't know. This is anything you want it to be.
And that's it for our show today, the Stronger Leader Podcast with your host, Tony Cardello. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and hit that bell so you can get updates constantly. Have a good day. Be good, be blessed, be stronger.